Connie Taylor-Martin, a director here at Edgar Cayces A.R.E. Today I'm speaking with researcher and author Andrew Collins about his new book, Beneath the Pyramids. His book tells all about his new discovery in Egypt. Hi Andrew, it's nice to have you with us here today.
It's my pleasure to be here.
For those who haven't read your book, please tell us exactly what it is you found beneath the pyramids.
We believe that we've found the entrance to a previously unrecorded cave underworld at Giza, right in the vicinity of the pyramids. I say that they're unrecorded. The last time that they are known to have been mentioned is nearly 200 years ago in the memoirs of a British diplomat and explorer by the name of Henry Salt. He records very briefly that he entered catacombs for a distance of several hundred yards before coming upon a spacious chamber that led into three other chambers of a similar size, from which went various other labyrinthine passages. And one of these, his colleague Caviglia, the Italian explorer, investigated for a distance of, he says, 300 feet further, as a clear indication that they were continuing into the bedrock. And the details of this exploration were completely lost for, as I say, nearly 200 years until they were published again in a memoir when the memoirs were re-edited and put out by the British Museum in 2007. And this alerted us to the existence of the catacombs, which we obviously saw in terms of some kind of cave complex. And the editors of the memoirs had actually wrongly attributed the position of these catacombs to a position generally on the north side of the Great Pyramid. But my colleague Nigel Skinner-Simpson worked out very meticulously where Salt and Caviglia had actually explored and found the exact entrance of these catacombs, and curiously it was seemingly within a tomb that I was already exploring, because I discovered that during the early 19th century the remains of bird mummies had been excavated and removed from this tomb, which seemed to be unmentioned in any modern publications, so much so that it had drawn my interest to go to Giza in January 2007. We explored the tomb then and found no obvious entrance to any kind of cave underworld. But just a few months later, after the publication of Salt's memoirs, we realised that we must have missed something. And it was at this point that, after consultations with the A.R.E, that they agreed to sponsor an expedition to go out to Egypt, which actually took place eventually in March 2008. And myself, Nigel Skinner-Simpson and my wife Sue entered the tomb again, and at first found nothing, but we were about to leave to go and look at another couple of more minor tombs in the vicinity when we noticed a small breach in a stone wall, which, on peering inside, I saw that there was a vast cave chamber that had been partly hewn, which led into cave compartments of entirely natural origin, as well as a long cave passage that penetrated the bedrock towards the south. And bear in mind that this was in total darkness, so we were unaware of what we were treading on, where we were going, but I felt I needed to explore these there and now. So I penetrated for a distance, bearing in mind that the place was absolutely full of bats, and we eventually found out also venomous spiders. And so we explored this not only on this occasion but on 3 further occasions, gradually mapping out the extent and nature of this cave system, which, as gone totally unnoticed by the Egyptological world.
Why do you think no one's ever explored these caves?
For some strange reason which I can't properly explain at this time, no modern Egyptologist has recorded the existence of them, and I can only assume that it's an area of the plateau which not only are tourists dissuaded from going to, but it's not really interested some of the top Egyptologists that have worked in this area. All we can say is that so far we have found 2 rough plans that were done of the tomb, which is actually within the north cliff of the formation, the geological formation that constitutes the Giza Plateau. And although one of these, which was done by the team headed by the American Egyptologist George Reisner, it was actually done in 1939. And this is a very peculiar oversight which at this present time we can't explain.
What do Dr. Zahi Hawass and the Egyptian authorities have to say about your discovery?
Dr. Zahi Hawass has actually denied the existence of the cave underworld. Now, as to why he has done this, and he's done it publicly, is a matter of debate. The most easiest explanation is that the investigations, the preliminary investigations that he did, almost certainly following our own visit to inform him of the discovery of the caves in April 2008, meant that his people actually went in the tomb but overlooked, as we did initially, the entrance to the cave system. And so their report back to him was that there are no caves, and this has been the public view that he's put out. However, it's hoped that he will realise that that he actually missed the actual entrance into the cave system, and that once he and his people go inside this, they will see exactly the same as what we discovered ourselves, and that we can then work together with the Egyptian authorities to try and investigate the cave system more fully.
Do you think there may be a link to this cave underworld and the Edgar Cayce prophecy about the Hall of Records?
I do believe that the caves that we've entered are part of a much larger complex that stretches right beneath the entire Giza Plateau, almost like Swiss cheese. It has holes in it all over the place, and that these are totally natural. But I believe that they have been exposed to the outside bedrock for maybe thousands, if not tens of thousands of years, and that therefore they actually existed before even the pyramid field developed around 5,000 years ago, and that they almost certainly had an influence on the evolution of the Giza pyramid field, to the degree that I believe that the pyramid field was seen as an entrance into the so-called duat, which was the name that was given by the ancient Egyptians to the underworld through which the soul of the deceased, obviously more particularly the pharaohs themselves, had to traverse in order to reach an afterlife among the stars.